Purim is one of the happiest days on the Jewish calendar, filled with mitzvot, celebration, and feasting. And yet, when Purim falls on a Friday, as it does this year, it presents a unique challenge for us because normally the Purim Seudah extends late into the night. But with Shabbat being that night, being Friday night, we need to adjust our schedule to honor both Purim and Shabbat properly. Now, halachically, eating a large meal late on a Friday is discouraged to ensure that we have an appetite for the Shabbat meal itself. That's recorded in the Shulchan Aruch in Reish Mem Tet Sif Bet. Eating after the ninth hour is particularly problematic. So when should we have the Purim Seudah? The Shulchan Aruch is silent on this, but the Ramah in Tov Reish Tzadi Hey Sif Bet rules that on a Friday, the meal should be held in the morning to ensure we still enjoy our Friday night meal. Many poskim, including the Mishnah Berurah, agree that the ideal time is before chatzot, before midday. If started early enough, the meal can extend into the afternoon a bit. Additionally, there is the position of the Maharil, which is cited in the Yad Ephraim, who says that as long as the meal begins before the 10th hour of the day, later in the afternoon, it's fine. Some authorities, such as the Aruch HaShulchan, note that those who are engaged in a mitzvah are exempt from another concurrent mitzvah and allow even more flexibility for those who have to take care of the Shalach Manos and the Matanos Levionim to extend their meal even longer. An alternative approach, which is gaining popularity primarily in Israel, is Pores Mapau Mekadesh, a method where one begins the Purim Seudah late Friday afternoon, covers the bread before sunset, recites Kiddush, and seamlessly transitions into the Shabbat meal. This method is actually found in the Meiri, but it requires careful attention to many halachic details. A person has to eat a kazayit of bread after Kiddush. If wine was consumed earlier, a separate bracha of wine isn't required. But there is even a problem with this because combining mitzvot in this way can be problematic. And in fact, there's also a question about whether or not Mariv can be recited after Kiddush or not. And that's a logistical concern that has to be taken into account ultimately. The preferred approach remains having the Seudah earlier in the day. If that's not possible, one should eat lightly to preserve their appetite for Shabbat. Even at other festive meals, such as a Brit Milah, one should always be careful not to overeat on a Friday. And this balance allows us to fully honor both Purim and Shabbat, ensuring a joyous, meaningful celebration of both days. Bottom line, ideally, the Purim Seudah should take place in the morning by 1 o'clock. If necessary, a little bit later in the afternoon is permitted. And there are those who will continue it with that unusual Pores Mapra Umekadesh approach.